Well, I do dance. I do sewing.
A lot of different creative pursuits. And do you feel like you're really good at those?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at them.
I had a test where it's like 3D shapes on a piece of paper, and it's like, how many? I was like, that was easy.
Yeah, because you're really great at understanding patterns. You're really creative, right? Would you say you're an out-of-the-box thinker?
I try to be modest, but relatively. People think I have weird ideas.
Yeah.
I had someone that say, like, can you imagine a piece of cake spinning? I was like, of course I can. That's easy.
I notice different patterns.
That's a great answer. People with dyslexia usually notice different patterns, or they're kind of out-of-the-box thinkers, right? Do you ever come across a problem and you can figure out a different way to solve it rather than somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about anything creative? Do you like to do anything creative?
Carve.
Carve? That's a creative thing, right?
I'm pretty good at that.
Physical stuff. Mm-hmm. And like active stuff. Soccer, basketball, working out, stuff like that. I like being outside.
You're kind of an out-of-the-box thinker a little bit, right? You can kind of piece together different things, right?
Yeah, I am better at, what else can I think of here? Well, I'm better at figuring stuff out, like simple stuff, like I can look at like a box and not use the instructions on how to build something.
Cool.
Then they like to tell me like at first, like you're the best employee because we can just put you down. You can figure anything out by yourself, and then we don't have to explain or give you a big lesson on how to work stuff.
Cool. That's
like we bought new vacuum cleaners, and they said you just looked at it and automatically knew how to do everything on it.
Nice. That is such a great skill. That is totally what I like to call a superpower.
Thing I do know is that something that I'm always conscious of is I have, whether this is dyslexia or ADHD, I have a huge advantage of intuition. And that came in handy in my nursing career. I know that I definitely have intuition in spades, and it's something that I have relied on for a long time. And initially, early on in our relationship, he didn't understand that when I would say, no, we're not doing that. And well, why not? I don't know, but we're not. And so after a while, it became obvious that we didn't even argue about whether we were doing it or why we were doing it. We just knew that there was a good reason why. And we've seen it over and over. We even have a name for it.
I was going to ask if you were going to tell her what this person's name is.
For some reason, you have to name these things, right? We called my intuition Tilly.
I've also found the gifts in it as well. And it's this interconnected type of thinking. I've heard some people refer to it as like a spiderweb type of thinking. So most neurotypical people will think in a very linear direction. A goes to Z, right? I don't. I'm like, I start here with this one thought and I see the connection of all of it. I see how it would affect this and how it would affect this. And then this is going to happen. And it all kind of comes together like that. And that gift has been so beautiful working in healthcare and in research. You just start to connect all sorts of concepts that other people don't see. And so that's one of the most beautiful things about my brain that I love. I love it.
I feel like being outside the box helps out a lot because a lot of people tend to look inside the box. And so I give different variables of what can happen outside the box. And sometimes it's all pertaining towards the subject or the action. And I think for that is to be more prepared. And it actually makes me more confident, and my instincts actually kick in when I see inside and outside the box.
I always say my dyslexic superpower is I am an entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur since I was 11 years old. And in addition to sharing with your children their superpowers, you can register for tutoring with my company, 3D Learning Experts. And we can help with the reading, spelling, writing, and math and confidence issues that are usually the negatives of being dyslexic.